Well, I'm at a new campsite, and this one I think is rather unique. It's about 25 minutes southeast of Roswell, New Mexico, and it's called Bottomless Lakes State Park. And what's unique about it? The lakes! Now, the other thing that's unique about this place is it has two types of campsites. There's a traditional one, it's called Leah Lake, and it's just down the road a bit. It's great for hookups. If you got a big RV, you go in, there's some pull-throughs even. You get water, you get electricity, you get hot showers, and there's even actually a little beach to wade in if it's warm enough, which it's not right now. It's kind of cold. But there's a catch to all that. It has to be reserved in advance on Reserve America. You know what I'm talking about here, the one that charges $4 a day just for the privilege of reserving. And then there's the fees for the campsite as well, which I believe start at $14. Fortunately, I didn't have to go through that because there is a second campsite where I'm at right now, and it's only $10 a night, cash in an envelope. Just how I like it. Devil's Inkwell Campground has a total of 10 campsites, and they're conveniently located right beside 6 of the bottomless lakes. Well, I'm only here for a short time, and it's a very small park, so I'm going to get on my hiking boots, and we'll wander around, see exactly what's here. There's some beautiful vegetation around here. The flowers are just starting to come out because it's the end of March. This is not a difficult hike at all. I'm just going up a little hill, but there are some loose rocks, so you do have to be careful. Oh, wow, this is nice. But you're not allowed to swim in here. There's no way I'd jump off this cliff anyway. I think that water's pretty cold. This is Inkwell Lake. Well, another thing that's really unique is how these lakes formed in the first place. Apparently, over millions of years, groundwater would seep up through faults, and this is mostly gypsum rock, and dissolved it over time until eventually it all collapsed into a sinkhole. And the word for it is cenote. But the trail still goes up, so let's have a look. The next one is Figure 8 Lake. But this is only the lower part. The little lake to the left makes it a full figure 8. Now there is one thing you have to be careful of up here, and that is crevices, like this one. When I said it was an easy hike, I didn't mean it was without risk. Always watch where you're stepping and wear good hiking boots. And for those who would rather not climb or fall into a crevasse, There are flat walking paths at the base of these lakes, like this one at Cottonwood Lake. Mirror Lake was well named, and the low angle was a good vantage point, but I still wanted to view it from a higher elevation. From above, you discover that it's actually two lakes, joined by a narrow stream in the middle. It's well worth the scramble up the rock to see these twinned lakes, because from the ground, you just don't get the right perspective. Just a short distance north of my campsite is the Lazy Lagoon. While not as picturesque as the other lakes, it's your best bet for birding, especially for ducks and egrets. The largest of the bottomless lakes is Leah Lake, and it's the only one commercially developed. But my sights were on a town in the northwest, so I got in my truck and went for a ride. There definitely seemed to be some kind of a theme going on here. If you haven't guessed already, this is Roswell, New Mexico, the UFO capital of the world. Well, you can't go to Roswell, New Mexico without seeing the UFO Museum. Stepping into the UFO Museum is stepping into another dimension, not only of sight and sound, but of mind. It's a bit overwhelming at first, but if you allow yourself to succumb to the bizarre and mysterious, the puzzle pieces will start to fall in place. "1947, the UFO incident." And it all began right here. Fact: on July 8, 1947, the Roswell Army Airfield issued a press release stating that it was in possession of a flying saucer that had crashed near a ranch in the Roswell area. The very next day, however, they denied that report and claimed that the mysterious debris from the crash site was only the remains of a weather balloon and not of extraterrestrial origin. That quick flip-flop of events, however, was too late to stop a feasting frenzy from the world press, and instantly the buzzword everywhere was that flying saucers had come to Earth. As for the rancher that discovered the debris and reported it to the Roswell sheriff, he suddenly became silent and refused to talk about it. To many, this screamed of a government cover-up, and the era of the conspiracy theory was born. The incident was long forgotten until recent books and pseudo-TV documentaries revealed a different angle, that bodies were also discovered at the UFO crash site and were recovered and examined. And those bodies were not human. What is fact and what is fiction is a little fuzzy at this point, and the museum simply provides ideas and lets the visitor decide what really happened in Roswell.
I really don't know what to think. I mean, certainly in Roswell,
Something must have happened.
but I guess we'll never know.
And that's the general theme here. The walls and exhibits are for the curious, for those that seek the truth, those who seek knowledge, and for those who would just rather indulge in fantasy. UFO sightings go beyond Roswell, of course, and the museum examines the whole worldwide phenomenon by breaking them down into categories. Close encounters of the first kind are sightings within 500 feet or less with no interactions with witnesses or the environment. These are typically represented here by grainy photographs, sketches, or artist renditions. Close encounters of the second kind include an interaction of some sort with the environment, like crop circles or electrical interference. Close encounters of the third kind involves an actual seeing of the occupants of the UFO, either human-like or not human-like. These are entirely represented by either sketches, descriptions, or artistic renderings. The one distinct feature that's universal to all extraterrestrials is that they're very camera shy. And the final category, close encounters of the fourth kind, involves direct contact or even abduction of a witness by extraterrestrials. Which leads me to a subject I've covered before, the Betty and Barney Hill UFO incident. One of the photos on display include a road marker from New Hampshire, a place I'd visited a year ago. In 1961, Barney and Betty Hill were abducted by aliens. As the story goes, they were driving home from a visit to Montreal when they encountered a huge flying disc in the air near Indian Head. But upon returning home, they realized they'd had no memory of the last 2 hours after the encounter. But through hypnosis, it was revealed that they were taken aboard the craft and examined. This was a close encounter that was just a little too close, if you know what I mean. Another feature of the museum is the science fiction aspect of our culture. What we like to call entertainment.
For me, the movies are the best. The TV, the X-Files.
Yes, even Scully and Mulder paid a visit to Roswell.
One of my favorite TV shows.
The truth is out there, even in fiction. One part I found fascinating was the Ancient Aliens exhibit. This was based on modern-day interpretations of ancient petroglyphs and carvings, suggesting they are of visitors from outer space. One temple carving that has puzzled many for years is the lid of King Pacal's tomb found in Palenque, Mexico. It is thought to depict an astronaut piloting a spacecraft. Did the ancient Mayans know something we don't? The evidence is overwhelming that planet Earth is being visited by intelligently controlled vehicles from off the Earth.
Well, all I can say is, I really hope there is intelligent life out there. Because we could really use some back here. I don't know what to believe. But for $5, it's well worth a visit.
Well, I believe it's time to get back to my campsite because a storm's blowing in. However, it looks like I have just enough time for one last activity. Now, the other good thing about this park is, along with camping, it has a bike trail. And I just happen to have a bike. Little tightening to do. My headlight became loose. Well, looks like I got back just in time. There's a storm heading this way. But just as the sun was about to go down, it made one final appearance. Well, the storm is over. The sun's just gone down. It's very peaceful and quiet. No wind. Bottomless Lakes State Park. I like it. I especially like this campground because it's only $10 a night. I mean, you don't get much. You get a place to put your trailer. You get this shelter and a picnic table. And there's some toilets right there. Just your regular pit toilets, but they're clean. And there is a information pavilion out that way a little bit. And of course, if you want the pull-through sites and the big RVs, just a mile or two down there is the other ones that you have to reserve. Now, there is one other bonus, although there are no showers in this part of the campground. As long as you have your ticket, you can go to the other one and you can still have a shower for free. But the other big attraction, besides the bottomless lakes, is of course it's right near Roswell. And, I mean, what can you say about Roswell? It's very touristy, I know, but it's fun, and that's the main thing. But for those camping, Roswell is a great place for supplies. There's some good restaurants and a great buffet, which is why there's no cooking segment to this video. And, if you go there, of course you have to get a souvenir. Now, you can get a t-shirt, you can get a coffee mug. What do you think I got? This. Alien Amber Ale. Brewed by aliens, of course. Let's try it out. Yeah, I'll go get that later. Anyway. Smells good. Very, very smooth. It's got a taste that's out of this world. You knew I had to come up with something like that. I hope you enjoyed this video. Check out my others as well. I'll be leaving in the morning. But I'm good for now. It's peaceful. I'm going to enjoy my beer.
Zoran, Slim's drinking alone. Let's go have some fun.
Whoa! Where am I? And why am I bottomless?
Oh no, not the probe!